Hey guys, gals, and others, especially others. It's the Cannabis Crone. Thanks for joining me. This is a brand new video because the last one I posted up last night, I realized after watching it that there was some confidential information in there that I had to get rid of, so I did just that. Tried to cut it out of the video. It didn't work. I just tossed the whole thing, and we are starting from scratch. Same subject, just a different video, because the other one could have landed me in trouble. Couple of things first before I get into today's subject, which is deactivate Facebook, reactivate your life. Anyway, number one, I do have a new job. I finally found employment, which has been, it's been a really hard slog trying to look for a job that has a livable wage that will actually keep our heads slightly above water financially. And so I finally found one, and I can't really give any information except to say that I'm a test car driver for, what do you call it, prototypes, cars that aren't out on the market yet. So it's pretty exciting. I get to see some of the technology before anybody else does, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that job. Anything else would be a confidentiality violation. So that's number one. Let's see, number two. I want to say, you might have noticed that I have an intro to my videos now, and you'll see I have an ending as well, an outro, or beginning and an ending. And I composed the music for it and then handed it over to my pharma. He took some pictures and mashed it all together and made a really nice beginning and ending for my videos. So I just want to say thank you, sweetie. You did a really good job. And hopefully that'll make the videos a little more pleasant, you know, coming in with a little music and leaving with a little music. I like to experiment with layering my voice. You know, I've got Sound Studio anyway, so I just kind of like to mess with it, and it's fun, it's goofy, it's eclectic, like me. So, let me get right into it. I want to talk today about deactivating your social platforms, whatever ones you're on. I happen to only be on Facebook. I quit Twitter like 3 or 4 years ago. I found myself, I was very anti-Trump, and I found myself really going onto his Twitter feed and you know, basically, you know, telling him what a horrible piece of crap he was, and I just kept expecting the black SUVs to pull up in my driveway with some rope and a bottle of chloroform. So I decided, you know, I'm going to quit Twitter and keep myself out of trouble. Now that's what I'm feeling about Facebook. I have been off Facebook. I deactivated my account on December 22nd, and I haven't been on since. Well, correction, I went on one time, and I will get back. I'll get to that. But I just decided to get off Facebook, and I have been off. And the first couple of weeks, it's interesting to realize what an addiction it is, right? Because when I used to get on Facebook, I would think it was kind of a nice, pleasurable little rush. You know, you see who's commented or who's liked your things, and but then I found out that wasn't really a feeling of joy, more the feeling of having an itch scratched, like you would with an addiction. One of the reasons that I decided to get off Facebook was because most of the stuff I was posting wasn't getting out into people's news feeds anymore. Facebook itself had really taken me out of a lot of feeds. I was basically being censored without being deactivated or being canceled. And the reason is because Facebook wants you to stay on there. So if you post controversial things that Facebook or corporate America doesn't like, it'll just lower your visibility in people's feeds. But it won't completely disconnect you because they want to keep you on there. Why? And this is for all social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and any of the other ones that are out there. Why do they want you to stay on? Because corporate America needs your information. Every time you log on to any of your social media platforms, you are giving so much information to corporate America. It's not even funny. What you post, those little things on Facebook, you know, like what would you look like as a man? That's all facial recognition stuff. So when you allow, you know, you push allow, and they go through your photos and everything, and everybody who's on Facebook probably has a complete dossier somewhere, including facial recognition software and everything. So, like, there's no such thing as being under the radar if you are on any social media platform. Corporate America needs this information. They use this information. Those tests, like, you know, what Breakfast Club character would you be? You know, and then you click on it, you know, oh, I want to see if I'd be, you know, I'd probably be the one that was eating the sandwich with Captain Crunch, and who was that? Allie McSheep? What the heck? Oh, I'm so bad with names now. Anyway, I went off on a tangent. Those little tests that say, like, which Breakfast Club character would you be, or, you know, which Avengers superhero are you most like, and then you click on it and you take that test, all that information is being stored, and the questions they ask are very strategic. It's not to help you find out which superhero you would be. It's to get more information from you. It's to get the information flowing. Oh, give us more, give us more. Excuse me. So, that's why social media platforms exist. To give corporate America a leg up on information, so that they can better understand you, and so they can better manipulate you, and lie to you, and color the truth. So this is what they're doing. This is why. So I was off social media since the 22nd. I had to go back on because I wanted to download some of my pictures on Facebook, or download them to my computer from Facebook, so that I could do some B-roll for a video that I want to do. And I reactivated, got on there, downloaded the pictures, and then I was on there for like 2 minutes, and I had to get off. It was like this feeling of I shouldn't be here. It was not the kind of feeling that I used to feel when I got on Facebook, and that's when I knew that I had gotten myself away from the matrix, because it no longer was my addiction. It was no longer something I felt like I had to be on, and it took a month and a half to get to that point. And so I deactivated again. Now I will be deleting. I'm not coming back on Facebook. I will be deleting my Facebook page as soon as my first paycheck comes, and I can go pick up some extra zip drives with a lot of storage on them, because there is about 10, 15 years of history, of my personal history on my Facebook page. And I'm talking about pictures and stuff like that. It's funny because as human beings, I remember as a kid, you know, we'd look through photo albums, and we are in a generation now where there's no more photo albums. Everything is in the cloud somewhere. So a lot of your pictorial history is on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. A lot of your and that's, so if my Facebook page was to suddenly disappear, I would lose all like 10, 15 years of history. So I want to download all of those pictures and everything, and then I'm just going to delete it. And I feel good about it. I feel good that I'm not going back on Facebook. A couple of the reasons I had stayed on, number one, was for views, was to try and get my YouTube channel more people coming to it. And I made a decision last night that I don't need more people to come to it. I noticed I have another subscriber. We're up to 32 subscribers. So hi guys, thanks so much. And you are enough. You are enough. Because I believe that anyone who needs to learn about cannabis healing, or perhaps what it's like to have adult autism, or you know, some of the stuff that I find out from maybe people that you're not particularly watching right now, like Jimmy Dore, Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, Breaking Points, Kim Iverson, any of those, you know, amazing journalists. And so I can take that information and give it to you, and maybe turn somebody on to checking their channels out too, you know. So I believe that the people that need to see these videos will come, you know, maybe we'll in a week we'll have 33 subscribers, and I'm fine with that. Was never planning on monetizing or doing any of that crap. I just want to get the information out there. If I can help somebody who's having health struggles realize that maybe cannabis is going to be a really good fit for you and your life, that's one person that is going to be healthier and happier. And so that's enough for me. So I don't have to try and get people to look at my videos on Facebook anymore. Another excuse that I told myself was that I'm going to lose so many friends and family. And then you think about it, and if the only place that you have friends or family is on Facebook, then it's time to reevaluate your relationships, I think. Because there's only a handful, I can count on one hand the amount of people that I trust and love and need in my life. And the rest are just acquaintances that I never would have. I mean, all of these people from high school and stuff, that you find that I wouldn't be in contact with them if it wasn't for the internet. So there's that, and family. Most of my extended family, I don't keep in contact with. After my mother, father, sister, and brother passed away, I haven't really had, no one's really reached out to me or anything. So, it's not going to be a big loss. And I have wonderful memories from my cousins and aunts and uncles, and that's fine, but they're not a part of my life now, and the only way they were is just on Facebook, and, so it's not necessary. It's not real. The metaverse is not real. This is real. This is real. My messy little studio, my humble little abode, my northern Minnesota winters, that's all reality. And getting on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, that's not reality. Facebook also, I think, contributes to a lot of mental health issues and depression. Because if you're struggling and then you go on one of those social media platforms and you see all of these wonderful pictures of happy families in perfect living rooms and, doing all this, you don't realize the amount of work that people do to make their shit look like that so they can get it on Facebook and say, look at my perfect life, when in actuality everything's falling apart. So it's not real. It's not real. It's not reality. So we have been living in this this non-real, mind-bending, spiritually warped realm, and it's not real. And so I think it's time for a lot of us to start unplugging. Let's see. I have my notes to make sure that I don't go off on a tangent. Andy said I need to streamline. So I'm going to listen to him because he did such a good job with my other stuff. Let's see. And all social media platforms. I'm talking about getting off all of them. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or any of the others, disengage for a month. And be strict about it. Deactivate, disengage, whatever you have to do, and stay off for a month. And then I want you to document how you feel. Okay, because the first 2 weeks were really hard for me. I really wanted to go back. I had this FOMO, this fear of missing out. I was like, oh, what am I missing out on? What news am I missing out on? But after about 3 weeks, I realized that all of that information, that superfluous information on Facebook, really had no bearing on my life one way or the other, because I know what I believe. And I'm out there, like I said, looking at these controversial programs that are actually exposing mainstream, Pfizer-sponsored media, and showing us what's going on, and has been showing us what's going on with the pandemic. So I was already off of mainstream corporate legacy media anyway, and so I realized that the stuff on Facebook, the memes, the little news clips, the little stories, all of that stuff, that instant gratification crap, meant nothing to me. It didn't change my mind in any way, shape, or form. It didn't help me in any way. It's just kind of like empty carbohydrates that don't give you any protein or energy. And that's how I feel about Facebook. So the people that want to still get a hold of me can get a hold of me. I still have Messenger. so they can, or my email address. And I'm really just getting real old school. YouTube is my only social media, if that is social media. And I'm pretty sure, I guess YouTube would be considered social media. But that's it. So you guys are it for me, and you are enough. Thank you. I appreciate the fact that 32 people want to hear what the hell I have to say. That's so cool, so, and hopefully I'm giving information that's relevant to you, that's helpful. So that is my spiel. Get off social media, stay off for a month and see how you feel, because I guarantee, or I can almost guarantee, that at the end of that month, you're going to be wondering why you even want to get back on. And like I said, I need to get all my pictures off, and then it's going down for good, so within the next couple weeks, hopefully I'll get those zip drives, get all my information off, and gone, like a bird, fly away. Goodbye, Facebook. I'm going to keep a little mystery in my life. I think y'all should too. I just think we've already given corporate America way too much information to use against us, because that's what they do. They take all of that information, your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, your fears, because they see all people's fears too. Every time we post something negative about a different narrative than ours, or a different political party, we're posting our fears, and they're eating all of that up so that they can use it against us as the working class, bombard us with messaging, and try to influence us and manipulate us to whatever the consensus narrative happens to be. So I think it's just high time that we all backed off those platforms and stopped giving them information. Besides, there's so much to do in real life, right? There's just so much to do. And when the world is in this kind of chaos, the only thing that you can do is to start where you are, your own yard, start where you are, see what needs tending to, and then do what you can. Whatever little bit you can do. And that's enough. Because if everybody does that, then those little pockets of comfort and safety and joy will ripple outward, and we'll be putting better feelings out into the universe. And when that happens, then the scales become tipped in the opposite direction, in the direction of love and compassion and, neighborly thoughts. So let's all do that. Let's start where we are, see what needs tending, and do what we can. I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of your day. If you're living in northern Minnesota area, stay warm, people. It's really cold. We're going through a little cold spot for the next couple days. Make sure you bring those fur babies in with you. If you don't want to be out in it, they don't want to be out in it. Namaste.
Ba-da-da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da